One of the things that is happening in many cities, villages, townships, even state government, federal government, are cuts.
Yeah.
And are you prepared to make cuts in Canton's budget?
Sure. I understand what you're saying. When I was the previous administration's budget director, we had to make tough calls then. You had to do things that you wish you didn't have to do, but you have to make cuts. But they have to be logical cuts. We can keep cutting and cutting from a particular department, but sooner or later, those cuts in expenses start also translating to cutting services. So there has to be logical cuts that are being made. Do you want to cut city safety forces? No. Can you cut maybe some city services back a little bit? Probably. But you want to do it in a logical manner in which we can still all have the same basic quality of life here in Canton.
A Stark County Republican, actually an elected official, has suggested to me that Canton could save about $1 million a year if it got out of the garbage collection business. Do you have a reaction to that?
Well, I'd have to see it. Remember, I'm not a politician. I'm an administrator. I'd have to see it in black and white, first of all. But there are other cuts that can be made without something like that. What about consolidations? Why couldn't we consolidate, for example, as we're starting to do now, the 911 system, the building department, the health department? There's consolidations within the county that we could do. And I think with the commissioners that are now in place, there would be a great synergy between Canton and the county commissioners that we could get a lot of those things done, or at least break down some of the barricades and barriers that are stopping any real communication from going on.
And you think there are substantial dollars in these kinds of actions?
I do.
Now, you've said that Canton needs additional and steady income. And when someone hears raising income, I think many people would want to think, oh, is this a call for council to raise the city income tax?
No, it's not at all.
Okay.
We've got to understand that even though people say, no, we've not raised the taxes, when you raise fees, you're actually raising taxes that way too. But it all has to be done, again, hard decisions are going to have to be made. And am I professing that we should have higher taxes? Heavens no. Heavens no. I think we need to just work more efficiently among ourselves, among the Stark Countyans in general, and see if we can come up with some solutions.
Well, where do you think you might come by additional income? Just by the vehicle of cuts? That's the way you're going to get to have more margin?
Well, no, you can only go so far in cuts. It has to be revenue, and it has to, basically, back to economic development. I think that's the engine that's moving this train is economic development.
Mayor Healy, he's come up with this monthly forum on city finances. Are you familiar with it? First one met in February, and there's going to be another one, I believe, on the 8th of March, if I have my dates correct. Do you think that he's going to generate any ideas out of this forum that's going to give you, Canton, that additional and steady income that you talk about?
No. I think it's a political grandstand again. I went to the first one, thought it was going to be a give and take, ended up being just a one-man show. Talked to many of the department heads that I still talk to all the time. Theirs is a mandatory requirement that they attend, but they really haven't had much input over the last 3.5 years. He's asked for citizen input, but when he's asking the citizens is difficult for them to do. How much money will it save? How long will it take to implement? How many people would it impact? Well, those are things that most citizens wouldn't have a perspective on within city budget and city government. They may have a good idea, but it may not fit what they're talking about. I think, again, to me, it's smoke and mirrors.